Hey, welcome to Dollar Views. I'm Brian Gillis.
And I'm Stephen Montmanex.
We're just two Long Beach State film grads with a lifelong passion for cinema trying to put our money where our mouths are.
And we decided to make our BAs mean something by giving our 2 cents on the weekly film releases.
Whether it's the cute romantic comedy,
Or the latest cult classics,
from the little-known indies and docs,
to the latest Michael Bay masterpiece.
we go over it all, $1 at a time.
Shaun the sheep and his flock know every trick to having a good time. But things can get out of control very quickly.
Shaun the Sheep.
Should you say it with a stutter or do it real slow so you know it's stop motion?
Shaun the Sheep. I'm not getting you here. I'm not following.
I'm just trying to mold you here.
That's a weird... I'm not feeling this joke, man. I'm not feeling... Yeah, Shaun the
Whatever.
Sheep. The latest critical darling from Sundance that no one will talk about.
Wait, is this at Sundance?
This premiered at Sundance, actually.
I didn't know that.
No, it did, and it was really well received. I guess it was
makes
part of
sense.
their... It was part of their kids program. Came out there in January. Then in February, started rolling out in the UK, and it just made its way all across the world, and we are one of the last stops that it has. It's probably... I think it's already on Blu-ray there.
I mean, that's how Pirates was.
Yeah.
It was the same probably Sundance as well. But I thought the weirdest thing about Pirates is that they changed the name for here. Like in the UK, it's called like And the Scientists or something, which makes more sense instead of, what was it, Band of Thieves?
I don't know, Band of Misfits.
Something like
I
that.
think. Yeah.
Speaking of which, that we kind of mentioned this during 2 cents. That 3D was amazing.
It was a fun movie. Yeah, I saw the 3D Blu-ray, I don't know, at some point last year.
Yeah, I caught it at a budget theater, so I saw it for in 3D for $4.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
And it looked good there, too. That's a bargain.
Yeah, it was a great film.
Nice, man. No, yeah, Aardman Animation. What do you think about them?
Chicken Run's hit or miss for me. I have to rewatch it. I only saw it once when I was a kid. Didn't see Flushed Away, but I loved the Were-Rabbit, the Wallace and Gromit movie. I saw that on a flight. Perfect airplane movie.
I grew up with I saw Wallace and Gromit when I was a little kid as well.
I remember watching the shows.
I remember really enjoying it. Yeah, which this is a spin-off of that.
Yeah, I knew nothing about Shaun the Sheep, even though at my
That's apparently there's also a TV show.
Yeah, I know there's a TV show now because I did some research. But my exposure to this film is at my theater. They required us to wear a shirt with Shaun the Sheep on it, and so for the past month or so, I've been a walking billboard for this film. And I was like, well, I don't really know anything. I still didn't know anything when I went into it. I knew nothing other than my quick Google facts. Was oh, it's a spinoff of the show. It's the same people. And then I went, wait, this is silent?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, this is basically a silent film, more, which is kind of amazing.
It is amazing.
It's a silent comedy. It works really, really, really bad.
It's a
really
throwback
well.
to the Chaplin, Buster Keaton days. There's some movie gags. I don't want to say what they are, so the listeners can get the full effect.
No,
but
there's there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah,
in this. There's
so
many details packed
some
in.
really funny idiomatic references in physical humor.
Let me ask you this: so you're wearing the shirt, you're basically promoting the movie. What type of reactions are people getting from you?
In terms of what?
From the average moviegoer, are you hearing things in the background, they walk by a poster and they're just looking forward to it or not forward to it? Because this is what happened to me. Is I saw the trailer a couple times in theaters. I'm pretty sure Inside Out was one of them.
Yeah, see, I didn't see the trailer.
And no one, it was not really a memorable trailer, but no one in the theater was really laughing, even though I thought the gags were kind of amusing at best, because it's an American trailer, and it had a narrator the whole time, which now makes sense since there's no dialogue in the film.
Yeah, you
but
can't really sell something without dialogue.
Every time someone would just look at that and go oh, that looks terrible. And then when I walk out of this movie, I'm walking down the lobby, there's a poster for it. A couple 12-year-olds are walking by and they look at it and they just say, "Oh, that movie looks bad."
Wow.
And then the other one just goes in general yeah, it kind of does. And my blood was just kind of boiling, but I get it. You're a 12-year-old. You like the dumb shit, whatever. What really got my blood boiling, though, was that I saw what movie they walked into.
Let me guess. Let me think about it. It's Vacation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking went to Vacation. I'm just thinking, God, you know nothing.
Right before we recorded, I was catching up on Twitter. Christina Applegate, she tweeted something like, it's Hump Day, which means if you need to get get out of your funk, you can go see Vacation, and if you've already seen it, you can watch it again. I was like, what the fuck?
Hey, she's in the movie.
I know she's in the movie, but
she probably had a good time.
But
They all
who's
had a
gonna
good
go
time, I'm
watch
sure.
this movie a second time? That's what I'm wondering.
Shaun of the Sheep. How well do you think it's gonna do? Shaun the Sheep. not-
Shaun
I
the
keep wanting
Sheep
to say.
movie.
I keep wanting to say Shaun of the Sheep. I don't
Shaun
know
of
why.
the Sheep.
Shaun of the Dead's locked into my
obviously,
head.
yeah.
I keep calling it that. I think I texted that title too
I think
a
you'll
couple
do
times.
okay. This is a bad weekend for it. I mean, that's obviously why I got the Wednesday release, just like Vacation last week, to try to beat out Fantastic Four. From what everyone said on the internet so far is that it's bad. But I'm still looking forward to that one. But I think it's going to do okay. I think it's going to have a good word of mouth, and I think anyone that is interested in the franchise or is a fan of the animation studio, that they're going to enjoy it because it's exactly what you think it is.
It's a very, very niche market in animation because it's not a household name, but at least not here in the States.
Well,
but you at least know their stuff. Like I'm sure
most
a lot
people
of people
know
have seen Wallace and Gromit.
Gromit. Yeah,
yeah. I think they even showed it to us in school.
Yeah, they might have.
Yeah.
You actually asked the question. I never answered it. The reaction to the shirt I wore. Most of the response was, "What's that for?" But the few people that did know that it was Shaun the Sheep were like kind of excited and asking when the movie was coming out. Like, "Oh, when's that happening? That looks good. You're so lucky. Did you have to pay for that shirt? Can I get one?" Like, genuine interest, feedback, and that's kind of what the audience I had. A very small audience at my screening. It was probably in the 15 people range. It was 3 p.m. opening day.
Yeah, for me it was like 5 people. It was it's a Wednesday afternoon crowd, so I probably should have seen this on like Sunday morning or something if I wanted it with a crowd, and hope that there were kids the kids were at least paying attention and not running around and shit. Because when it's a packed crowd and there's families there, it can be fun.
But it's usually not.
Kids are not running around. Like it rarely is. Yeah.
There's not much to say here because the story's generic, but that's okay. It's not supposed to confuse you. And I thought, okay. You can compare this to Box Trolls, kind of, because it's the most recent stop-motion film besides this one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Box Trolls is garbage because it's generic and it doesn't have any heart. Whereas this is generic and it does. Every single moment from the opening to the closing of this film, I stayed for the credits just because I wanted to, and they were kind of cool. It just, I was smiling throughout, even when it was, sad. I was still happy that I was watching it. It was just a good old time. Yeah, I think this is one of those films that transcends generational barriers, and anyone that watches it, regardless of age, will have a good time.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head there with Box Trolls, especially because I think that movie's okay. I think it looks beautiful. It's absolutely beautifully
good.
Animated.
Yeah.
But this is my problem with what's the name of the studio? Leica. I think
it's Leica. Yeah.
Leica. I thought Coraline was a great start.
I love
my problem,
fucking Paranorman. I love that movie.
See, that's my problem. And
besides the ending, the last 15 minutes are bad.
For me, with both Box Trolls and Paranorman, they both try way too hard to be funny, and they just kind of fail at it, even though they both look beautiful. Whereas here, not only is the animation great, and I love the little details throughout. There's so much going on, in
sight
this movie.
Gags.
There's so many great sight gags.
Corner of the screen joke.
Yeah, there's graffiti in the city. There's a bunch of stuff that's well realized that you'd have to pause to really find the joke.
Speaking of the graffiti, I'm sure there was a joke there, but I was glad to see that there was a city that wasn't pristine. It's kind of like when you see movies and every car is perfect and they don't have any broken taillights.
Yeah, no, it's it's a real city. It looks pretty rundown. Or big city, I guess you call it.
Yeah, well, that is what it is. Which kind of reminded me of Babe. Especially because you got farm animals going to a city. Or Babe 2, rather.
This is what I really love, is that not only is it really well animated, I mean, this is the funniest movie that I've seen this year, hands down.
Yeah, probably.
Hands down. And, there's so many great gags in there. There's so many great situational
I got
comedy.
bigger laughs from Trainwreck, but in terms of just flat-out comedy, yeah.
Yeah, just the skill put into this. I love the little details. There's so many great sight gags, and it's just got, it's perfect, just, God, what's the term I'm looking for? it's just constantly moving fast. It's like, mile a minute gags.
Yeah, there's
like,
no
it just keeps going.
there's no pacing
stopping.
issues where you're like waiting for the next joke. Like it's consistent.
Like, yeah, it's just expert comedic timing, and it's just perfectly executed. Like, it's a lot of fun. It's a really good time at the theater, and I honestly, if you're down on this movie, because I hear nothing but shit things from people that walk by posters, evidently, it's worth giving a shot. I think it's the best animated movie of the year so far.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything else that was animated this year besides Inside Out. So I'd have to agree on that for right now. I mean, in closing, like I said, we can't really say much because there's not much to be said. It's just this is a great time. I highly recommend it, especially if you've had blockbuster like not withdrawals, but if you're getting over them, if you didn't care for Mission Impossible, you don't care for Fantastic Four, you don't want to see that big spectacle, and you just want something with lots of heart and a good time. This is great, especially if you have a parent or a child. It's good for everyone.
For comedy, this is a great year for Britain, like even for kids movies. I think between this and also Paddington, which was
Still have to see
would
that.
would make a great double feature, because that was also a lot of fun and had a lot of clever gags. It's a lot of fun. Like, it really is. Like, I'm not the type of person that uses the word delightful.
No, it's definitely delightful.
There's no other word that I can use for it. Just, I walked out feeling good, had a smile on my face, just...
Sun was shining, it was nice weather.
Yeah, it was a fun movie, man. Like, especially with this summer, which it's been okay. There's been some really good stuff. It's nice to see just something this creative come out.
Yeah, I don't know if I would buy it for $1. But I would definitely stop and watch it anytime it's on cable.
Well, I mean, what do you mean when you say buy it for $1? Like, does that mean own it? Or
yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of the way that I interpret it. It's like, say you're at the bargain bin at some store and they have all dollar DVDs. Which ones would you buy?
I get Shaun of the Sheep. I mean, like, it'd be something where if I'm having a bad day and I just want something, like, to make me feel a little bit better, something that's just nice, simple entertainment, I definitely get that. I mean, I wouldn't rush out to get it for $1, but I definitely think for families that are going out on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday morning.
Like I said, for a family, this is a great movie. This is the best movie this weekend.
Absolutely.
Like, definitely watch this if you want some family treat. Avoid Minions like the plague.
That was another animated movie I did not see.
Well, you're not missing out on anything.
No, I'm not. I don't know. I thought about seeing Home, but
I passed on that.
Not interested.
I was like, Rihanna? No thanks.
DreamWorks is hit and miss for me.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. I hope it's been a pleasure. If you enjoyed it, you can find updates and when episodes go live on Facebook and Twitter at Dollar Reviews. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Brian Gillis, that's BryonGillis, and also under the same name on the lovely site Letterboxd, which acts as my film diary, where I rate the films I watch on an almost daily basis, write the occasional review, and even sometimes compile lists.
You can also find me on Twitter at S_MTX, and also follow my film diary at letterboxd.com. My username is also S_MTX. There I log everything I watch and sometimes write brief reviews.
If you loved what we said, you'd like to contribute some talking points, or you just want to laugh at us and send us hate mail, you can do so at dollar.review@gmail.com.
And since we don't know where you're listening from, you can find our recent reviews on iTunes by searching Dollar Reviews. We're also on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Dollar Reviews. And if you're sad that you missed a review and you can't find it on either of those platforms, you can find our entire archive at youtube.com/Dollar Review. Once again, that's Dollar Review, one word without the S.
Until next time, keep the change.